If this legislation makes it one more day in this building, you are declaring war on every parent and family in the state of Missouri.
Are you finished, lady?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who I am?
You are the chairwoman of this committee.
Yes.
That's about it.
Let's get straight to the point here. You came here today presuming a lot of things. You'll notice
This is my testimony, ma'am.
And it must not be about politics. It must not include anger. And it must not include any other agenda than working together. Are we clear?
Your restrictions sound a bit like a violation of my First Amendment.
I'm giving you a chance to talk by this inquiry.
No, I'm done, but you just put a whole lot of restrictions on the speech of people in this room. I'm finished.
All right.
Children's lives will be permanently scarred because of this. Their parents will be tortured by their own government. If this legislation makes it one more day in this building, you are declaring war on every parent and family in the state of Missouri. In closing, in the words of Senator Rick Bratton on the floor of the Senate just yesterday, who in the heck do you people think you are? What gives you the right or the authority to permit the government to seize our children against our will and give them away to a stranger forever? I'll take your questions or an apology to the families of Missouri.
Are you finished, lady?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who I am?
You are the chairwoman of this committee.
Yes.
That's about it.
Let's get straight to the point here. You came here today presuming a lot of things. You'll notice
This is my testimony, ma'am.
This is the people's house.
Yes, it is.
And here in the people's house, there is a process to follow. And in this committee room, I expect statesmanship and I expect respect given and received. Okay? And in this committee room, we will give respect. And in this committee room, we will remember that this committee's goal and objective must always be about what is right for the children. It must not be about politics. It must not include anger. And it must not include any other agenda than working together for the best outcome of the children. Are we clear?
May I speak?
Yes, you may.
Your restrictions sound a bit like a violation of my First Amendment. Go ahead.
I'm giving you a chance to talk by this inquiry.
No, I'm done, but you just put a whole lot of restrictions on the speech of people in this room. Absolutely. I'm finished.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. May I inquire, please? I'm so sorry, if I may.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Let me start by saying I am a Democrat, and I agree, with all due respect to the chairwoman. But I agree with you. I am a Constitution lover, particularly the 13th Amendment, but all of them. The most important of which is the first, because your First Amendment right says that you have the right to petition your government for redress of grievance. It does not say we have to like it, and it hurts and it's hard. I understand your frustration. Again, I think he's fantastic, but I also understand the place from which you wrote this, and I will defend and support your right to say it, how you said it. With all due respect to the chairwoman, I absolutely agree with you in your statements here, though it be harsh. The rules of the House and decorum are on us as elected people, not so much as the people who come here to give us a piece of their mind, because that's what we are sworn to do, and that's a part of our job. So thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for your grace and criticism. And I would like to point out to the chairwoman that this is protected under constitutional case law in New York Times v. Sullivan, where people can come before a committee or any elected body in an open forum such as this, where you provide us time to speak to you. And our criticism of you can be vehement and caustic. That's a direct quote from the Supreme Court. So I would suggest that the statements made by the chairwoman be retracted for the rest of the people in this room who plan to speak after me. In order to not violate the rest of our First Amendment rights.
I want to be very clear. My frustration expressed previously is in respect to the fact that it's very important to remember that nothing passes out of here until it has passed out, right? So it's important to have productive conversation, because I believe in being humble and I believe in being transparent. I hope that you will forgive me for having a less than professional attitude in my conversation to you. But the heart of my concern is that you understand that we hear you. This process has only begun. So I, as chairwoman, am telling you today I am taking in due note everything that you are telling me. I welcome you to come to my office and visit in furtherance as long as you would like. But I want to be very clear on how I expect this committee to go.
I understand that, and thank you, Madam Chairwoman. My whole purpose for coming today was to be vehement and caustic to get this bill thrown in the trash today. That was the purpose of the passion behind my testimony.
And I respect that very much, and I hear you loud and clear. And I as well believe in your First Amendment right, and thank you for being in the People's House today. So, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Allie Grave, and I think now is a good time to remind everyone in front of me works for everyone behind me. So the censorship that would just happen by the chairman of this committee is irresponsible as this bill. So I just want to get that on the record first, because you're intimidating. You intimidated the very first person that came up in opposition. And I'm shaking. Am I going to get reprimanded? I mean, that was insane. I've never heard anything like that. And that's the chairman, and we're expected to trust that you, the chairman, is supposed to be in charge of making sure that these bills. I just want to put it on the record that that was insane. I can't believe you did that, and that needs to be taken up further. I hope she does.
I chose some words earlier that I could have chose differently. And as a Christian, I believe in being honest and being transparent. And I would like to ask anyone in this audience to forgive me who that might have hurt in any way, shape, or form. Please forgive my tears, but I want you to know, as Representative Jones said earlier, the intent today is to facilitate conversation. So thank you all for being here, okay? Please, let me put it this way. Thank you for suffering with my human self, very failing self today. And please know that the heart of this committee is to serve the families and the children well. But again, I believe in being transparent. I believe in being humble. And I could have chose better words today, but I hope you hear my heart.